You've had a couple of days since the scrimmage. What was your evaluation from it?
It was good. First scrimmage, got a lot to work on, a lot to learn. A lot of guys getting reps out there in the field. Hot day of practice today, which is good right there. Forcing us. We've been pretty fortunate. Had some cloud cover days. I like it when it gets really hot out there. Forcing guys to have to compete, forcing guys to have to work. So, this time of year, everybody's starting to get banged up in training camp, so they got to fight through. They got to do those things. Injury front, we got Cedric Giles going to be out with a hamstring injury probably for a significant amount of time right now to start out the season. But everybody else is, battling through all the bumps and bruises.
Obviously, every practice is important, but going into the end of this week and next week before they really get back in the flow of school, how important is that as far as shaping?
Well, it's huge. This is the most important week for us right now. Installation's in. We're getting. There's no school going on. It's just football. We got 2 practices today. We got 2 practices on Thursday. So when you have those double days and you really can get after it with, extended walkthroughs throughout the day too. You just get full days of football. It's huge developmental time and preparation time. Once school starts in, you look at a couple practices next week, then you're into game week and the season's rolling. So, really training camp ends on Saturday night for us. And, at that point, you're kind of rolling into that next phase of things. So this week's the most important weekend.
You mentioned the conditions. How the guys handled those things?
Pretty good. I thought we battled today pretty good, It got hot there at the end. But that's what I like. Those are, this afternoon, hopefully the sun stays out, and it'll be a really hot one. And, just put guys in adverse conditions and see how they handle them, like they're going to have to during the course of the season. And, these type of days are days that are designed, even the practice schedule is designed to see how you're going to handle a little bit of adversity and to see how they handle those things.
Are you happy with how they've handled it so far? The adversity, the heat, everything that's kind of gone on.
Yeah, we got a veteran group. They're trying to help the young guys learn too. But I think the older guys, they know they know how to handle themselves. They know how to hydrate. I haven't seen us, knock on wood, much cramping and all that issues. And I think a lot of that's a maturity deal too for the guys that they're taking care of their bodies the right way and not looking and. So, why would I drink that? I'm not thirsty right now, and that has nothing to do with it. And but our strength staff did a great job. Our training staff's doing a great job keeping guys going in the right direction.
The training staff and the strength staff. I think there's an addition to a nutritionist this year. Has she kind of helped the process?
Yeah, I think she's just breaking in right now, but it's going to help just making sure we have the right food out there for us, and and the right sort of. Everything, whether it's snacks, what we're getting coming off the practice field, how they're replenishing their body and getting their bodies right to move on to the next practice or the next game when we get into the season.
You mentioned the maturity. Do you feel you can push these guys a little harder now in camp because they got a better team? Yeah,
you can push them harder. You can push them light. You can do a lot more. I told them you're gonna have a great team. Leadership, great teams. Leadership comes from within, not from the top down. And so I put a lot of how we're pushing, of letting the leaders on the team in on knowing what we're doing and expecting them to really kind of push the team from within instead of the coaches having to push it from the top down.
I know obviously in some positions, especially on defense, a lot of depth. It seems like here more urgency with even the older guys about how important each practice is for them as far as being on that depth chart. You can't slip with what's behind them or what's ahead of them.
Well, I think they know that. I mean, a lot of times guys are fighting for starting jobs. No one's fighting for a starting job because, I guess a starting job means we put your name on the Jumbotron pregame. So they will be fighting for that because that's kind of a cool deal. But they're fighting for reps, and they know, that there's a lot of guys are going to play. We play a lot of players. And, when you're playing a lot of guys, and there's a lot of younger guys that are competing for reps, and every rep that they take is one less rep that an older guy gets. So they know however you play is going to determine how much you play. How you play now is going to determine how much you play during the season.
Have you seen